You'll need to share the screen, sir.
Will do. Well, hello everybody out there in the land of the live stream. Turd Ferguson here, back once again with another night of Monopoly. Just doing some last minute things that, of course, I did not do ahead of time. So we're going to be starting up here in just a moment. My players, of course, yes, you'll be going into the hack box. You know how to get there. I'm not going to spell it all out for you. And your room code is R as in Richard, V as in Victoria, Q as in Quick, and B as in Boy. So while you do that, and I will get you your buzzers in there in just a minute, we are going to go ahead and get this game going. So this is Monopoly Season 2, Episode 9. Airing live January 15th of 2024. Our announcer is ready. So let's do this thing here and have a great show, everybody. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
M-O-N-O-P-O-L-Y. M-O-N-O-P-O-L-Y. Monopoly, Monopoly, Monopoly.
Yes, Monopoly. The world's most popular board game is now Monopoly. Here comes the players. The red player, Peach. The gold player, AJ. And the green player, Seppi. Here comes our guest, Mr. Monopoly, Scott Michaels. And here comes our host, Turd Ferguson.
Hey. On the way. Welcome back again, everybody, here to another episode of Monopoly of Season 2 right here, coming to you live from Grandma Studios inside of the MVG production house. It is good to have all of you back here again. I see we've got a couple of our players that are locked in with their buzzers. Peach, if you're out there, we're still waiting on you to join up, if you would, please.
Yes, Buzz. What's the buzzer code one more time?
R as in Richard, V as in Victoria, Q as in Quick, B as in Boy.
Done that.
There we go. Okay, now we've got everybody in their buzzers, and we'll test those here in just a little bit. But as I was saying, we are back once again for another great episode of Monopoly. And we're going to start off here with our champion. He comes back to us from his last play, winning the championship away from Travis Coulter. He has $9,555 in this current run. It is Mr. Peach Blossoms.
Yes, Mr. Peach Blossoms, the world's most famous. Never mind.
You are the world's most famous squid peach hybrid from 10,000 years in the past.
There you go.
So, yeah, you took down Travis Coulter in the last game. If we take a little peek here, where they can't see this at home, but I'm taking a little peek, Peach. You've got $16,805 overall for the season, which puts you just slightly behind Scott Michaels for third place overall. Tell me, how did it feel to finally get a hold of your first championship this season last week?
Well, it certainly wasn't easy. Travis made me sweat with all of those hostile takeover attempts.
That he did, and we can remember that as we go back. It came down to one hostile takeover that he was not able to complete that kind of made the difference in the game. With your two opponents this week, do you think you've got what it takes to go ahead and run this thing to a second championship?
Who the heck knows? I think I've played Scott McVeigh before. I know both of my opponents are going to be giving it their best shot, so I think I'm going to have to be like, in even better shape in this game than I was the last one, but we'll just see if I can't do that.
And I appreciate you mentioning that. Yes, this is actually the third time this season you will have faced off with Scott McVeigh. You played him in episode 3 this season, and he actually came out as the champion in that episode. And then you faced him once again in episode 6, where he lost his championship, but he actually lost it to Kevin Henry. You came in second, however. So yeah, this is the the third battle. Who knows? Maybe this will be the time you take the title from him. So of course, let's go ahead and tell everybody at home where you're from, what you do, what you're about, and if you had 3 marbles and 2 of them are green, why would AJ deserve 9 of them?
All right. Well, like you just said, I'm a squid human hybrid from 10,000 years in the future, masquerading for now as a casino associate over in Prior Lake, Minnesota. I'm a kid. I'm a squid. I love game shows. I love listening to music. I love singing. And AJ already has all those 9 marbles that I had. So
then you're saying
he deserves it by that.
Okay.
Well, he already has it, so I'm not going to ask him for it back.
Okay, well, that's the incorrect answer, but we'll get back to that later. So, Peach, good luck to you. We'll see if you can hold on to that title. Let's go ahead and meet your opponents today. First, we start off in the gold podium. He comes to us from the state of Florida. He has been with us here before. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Monopoly, Mr. A.J. Richards.
Hello, Turd.
Hey, Jay, good to see you back here. Again, you've been with us once before back in episode 4. You were able to win $2,835 that night. And if I'm not mistaken, you haven't won a championship with us so far. So tell me, why do you think you've got what it takes to finally take a title here at Monopoly?
Well, I've been studying up a lot, and hopefully I can do well.
Well, and I can say I saw you playing a game last night, which was one that was recorded for future airing, and I was very impressed with the depth of your knowledge, much deeper than I've ever seen you have. So I would definitely say it seems like you've been studying up. But let's go ahead and let everybody at home remember who you are. So go ahead and tell them where you're from, what you're about, and why is your favorite game Connect 4?
My name is AJ Richards. I'm a 30-year-old independent contractor from Jupiter, Florida, who likes game shows, sports, and video games. And I like Connect 4 because you get to drop the little chips in the holes.
I mean, hey, who doesn't love to drop a chip in a hole? So normally if I do,
Yeah.
I like it to go into some French onion dip. Hell of a good, if at all possible. But, AJ, we wish you the best of luck tonight. And we go over to our green podium. He is one of our multi-time champions this season. He's been the only person to win 3 championships so far this year. Did so in episodes 3, 4, and 5. He's back again to see if he can take one away from Peach tonight. They call him Seffy. I call him Scott McVeigh.
Hello, Turd. How you doing tonight?
You know, I'm just fantabulous and amazing and scrupulous and cold.
Yeah.
Yes, so, Scott, as we said, you've won 3 championships so far this season. Do you think you've got what it takes to get your 4th under your belt tonight?
Well, I do have 2 really good opponents. As you mentioned before, with Peach, eventually, this is my third time to be with him, so I know he's a damn good player. And AJ, I actually was also in that same taping that you're mentioning for a future reference on a different show with AJ, and he's also really damn good player at the trivia as well, though. So I think I have my work cut out for me.
Well, and I would definitely agree with you there. So, of course, you know, it has been a little bit since you've been here, so remind everybody where you're from, what it is that you do, and if you had a choice between pretzels or lima beans for dessert, why would you choose lima beans?
Well, let's see. First of all, I am 52 years old, live in Hayes, Kansas, and I work at a hardware store as a cashier for that. Let's see. And I guess the reason why I choose a lima bean over a pretzel, well, let's say I try to cut down on my salt intake, and so that means I have to do the lima bean instead.
So if you're trying to cut down on your salt intake, does that mean you have Nelson Estrud server muted?
Yeah, pretty much. And I can just hear him say, "Oh, good, dude."
I don't blame you a bit for that, and if I could, I would suggest Jose Cosres be your next one. But
Hey!
again, Scott, thank you again for being here. We wish you the best of luck. Again, players,
Okay.
all of you the best. Let's get into our game. We'll start off first with our buzz-in check. So, Peach, if you'll go ahead and buzz in with shift 1. Very good. AJ, shift 2. And Scott, shift 3. All right, everybody knows how to push those buttons, so let's see if you can make it through tonight without pushing mine. So, yeah, that's right. My wife just said in the background she pushes mine, and she is absolutely correct. $100 to you.
Yay.
I better not say that because then she may actually get in the bank account and try to take $100 out. All right. So, yeah, everybody thinks I'm joking. All right, so players, of course, we start here in round 1. This is the acquisition phase of our game. As always, we're going to be going around the board, stopping at each one of our properties, and you will get a trivia question. Get that question correct, you will get the dollar amount that's at the bottom of the property. And yes, we ask trivia questions. We don't say true, false, north, south, east, west, or hey, how many fingers am I holding up? So we're going to ask you trivia questions. We're going to test that brain. Once we've made it through all of the properties in a color group, if there's one of you that already owns all the properties, you're going to get the combined value as an extra little bonus. If multiple of you own those properties, however, we will have a showdown round until we have someone that has been able to take all of the properties in that group. So with that being said, let's get to it. So we are going to start here with Mediterranean Avenue. This is a $60 property, players. Best of luck. Here comes your first question this evening. All right. In geography, what name is given to the Atlantic region infamous for apparently strange disappearances of ships? And that's AJ. Repeat.
Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle is correct. $60 comes over to you. That puts you at $60. Next, we move over to Baltic Avenue. This is a $60 property with this question. Montezuma was the last emperor of which Central American ancient? And that's Scott.
That's the Aztec Empire.
You are correct. $60 over to you, and you are up to 60. All right, we're going to have a showdown now here for our brown property group. So, Pete, you're going to rest here. AJ, Scott, you need one correct answer to take the $120 of combined value. So, hands on buzzers. Remember, there is no lost money for an incorrect answer here during showdown. Here comes the showdown question. In pop music, Believe was a 1998 album, and that's Scott.
For Cher.
And that was for Cher, Scott. Well done. $120 coming to you, and you take that property group, and you are now up to $180. We now move over into our light blue property group, and we start with Oriental Avenue. All three players are back in. This is a $100 question. In the first Star Wars film, what was the name of Han Solo's spaceship? Peach.
The Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon is correct. $100 comes over to you. We now move over to Vermont Avenue. Another $100 question. In biology, what F as in Frank is the soft spot on a baby's head? AJ.
The forehead.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you 100. Peach or Scott. Again, in biology, what F as in Frank is the soft spot on a baby's head? And I don't have Jason here, so that's time. So the correct answer there, that would be the fontanelle. The fontanelle.
Oh.
Cool.
All right, so we're now going to cut this property value down in half. It is now a $50 property with this question. In Christian religion, who was the author of the third gospel and the Acts? And that's Peach.
Luke.
Luke is correct. $50 comes over to you, takes you up to $150. You have two properties. We now move over to the final light blue. This is Connecticut Avenue. $120 for this question. Which precious stone is traditionally given as a gift on the 40th wedding anniversary? AJ.
Ruby.
Say again.
Ruby.
Ruby is correct. At 120 brings you up to 80. All right, so Scott, you'll be sitting out here. Peach, you had 2 correct answers, meaning you need 1 more to take the Monopoly. AJ, you're going to need 2. So here we go, showdown between Peach and AJ. In television, which shabbily dressed detective was played by Peter Falk? AJ.
Who was it?
3, 2.
Magnum.
No, I'm sorry. Peach, would you like a shot? Again, no money at risk. Go ahead.
I'll just say Sherlock Holmes.
No, Peter Falk, he
I know
played
the answer.
Columbo.
Yes, I was going to say.
Yeah. All right, so another question. In the Bible, who is the wife of Abraham and the mother? And that's Peach.
Sarah.
Sarah is correct, and Peach, you have taken the light blue property group. With that comes $320 of combined value, bringing you up to $470. No, Scott.
What? Sorry.
We now make
Slip
our
it.
turn onto 2nd Street, and we start here with St. Charles Place. $140. Here's your question. All players are in. In literature, J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, and that's Peach.
Frodo.
No, I'm sorry, that's going to cost you $140. I'll complete the question. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit is the prelude to which 3-volume novel? AJ.
The Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings is correct. $140 brings you up to $220. We now move over to States Avenue. $140 for our next question. Which meat, along with butter and sugar, was the first commodity to be rationed in 1940 at the start of World War II? Scott.
I'm going to say steak or cow meat.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you $140, taking you down to $40. Peach or AJ?
Pass.
I'm passing.
Thank you. Now, Jason, are you here?
No, I just implemented one.
I will love it. That
Thank
works
you,
for me.
Scott.
Yep. Okay. And just so you know, Scott, it's a 5-second on mine.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
so,
what I figured.
Yeah. So, correct answer there is bacon or ham. We would have accepted either answer. All right. So, players, we're now going to cut this property down in half. It's now a $70 property. Here comes your question. In nature, which gas is produced by photosynthesis? AJ.
Chlorophyll.
No, I'm sorry. It's going to cost you $70. Peach.
Oxygen.
Oxygen is correct. $70 comes to you, takes you up to $400. And that now gives you, let's see, who got St. Charles?
I did.
AJ.
Okay, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure. All right, so 1 for Peach, 1 for AJ. Scott, you can still get into this. Virginia Avenue is next. $160 for this question. In fashion, what type of clothing is a poncho? AJ.
A raincoat.
Raincoat is correct. $160 comes to you. Takes you up to $310. All right, so another showdown here. This is between AJ and Peach. AJ, you only need 1 correct answer this time. Peach, you're going to need 2. Which of these cities is furthest from London by plane? Seoul or Toronto? AJ.
Seoul.
Seoul is correct. And AJ, you have taken the magenta properties, gives you $440 of combined value, which takes you up to $750. We now move over to our orange properties, and we start with St. James Place. $180 for this next question. In pop music, who was vice president of Motown Records and also the lead singer of The Miracles? Players, that would be Smokey Robinson. Smokey Robinson.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right,
Oh,
we're gonna cut that down now in half to $90 until we get a correct answer. Here comes your next question. In which action film did Tom Cruise first play the character? And that's AJ.
Mission Impossible.
did play the character Ethan Hunt. Mission Impossible is correct. $90 comes over to you. You're up to $840. We now move over to Tennessee Avenue. $180 once again for this question. In the traditional story, which child is eaten by a wolf disguised as an elephant? Peach?
Goldilocks. No.
No, I'm sorry. Cost you one. You're at $220. And Scott?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood is correct. 180 comes to you. You're at 220.
Couldn't think
So
of
we've
it.
got one correct for Scott, one correct for AJ. We now move over to New York Avenue, the final orange property. $200 here for the next question. In history, who crowned Napoleon Bonaparte Emperor of France in 1804? AJ.
14th.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you $200. I'm going to read that question again. In history, who crowned Napoleon Bonaparte Emperor of France in 1804? Peach or Scott? Time's up. Believe it or not, he crowned himself.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Trick
players.
question.
Yep, we're going to cut that one down in half now. $100 till we get it.
I guess I
correct.
believe that.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Here we go, players. In geography, are the Great Smoky Mountains in Canada or the U.S.? Peach.
In Canada.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you $100. Race to the buzzer goes to Scott. Go ahead.
Gotta be the United States.
That would be the U.S. $100 comes to you. You're at 320. All right, we're going to now be having a showdown between Scott and AJ. Scott, you need only one correct answer. AJ, you need two. Players in architecture, did the Palladian style evolve in Italy or Spain? Scott.
I think that was Spain.
No, I'm sorry. AJ?
Well,
Italy.
It was Italy. All right, so AJ, that gives you one correct answer. Whichever one of you gives me the next correct answer, we'll take the orange properties. Lucerne and Lucerne are cities in which country? Scott.
France.
No, I'm sorry. AJ, go ahead.
Spain.
No, I'm sorry. Those are in Switzerland.
Huh.
Switzerland.
Oh.
All right, let's try another one. The Munchkins are characters from which famous... okay, AJ.
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz is correct, and AJ, you have taken the orange property groups. $560 of combined value brings you up to $1,200. We now make the turn onto 3rd Street. This is our red property group and Kentucky Avenue. $220 property with this question. Which building is taller, the Eiffel Tower or Ruined Cathedral? Peach.
Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower is correct. $220 comes to you. You're up to $340. We now move over to Indiana Avenue. $220 for this question. In food, scrag end is a cut of which meat? Players, that would be lamb or mutton. Yes, here at Monopoly, we believe in stretching that mind a little bit, bringing in new trivia you may have never heard before. All right, so we're going to cut that property down in half now to $110. Here comes your next question. The dismantling of which infamous German structure, and that would be Peach.
The Berlin Wall.
The Berlin Wall is correct. $110 comes to you. You're up to $450. We now move over to Illinois Avenue. $240 here for this question. In nature, what does a male prefer to eat? Grass or earthworms? I'm excuse me, a mole. I apologize. It's mole. Scott.
I'm going to go with earthworms.
Earthworms is correct. $240 comes to you. You're up to $560. All right, so that is going to give us, see, Scott got Illinois. Peach got Indiana. Who got Kentucky?
Peach also.
Peach also.
Yes.
Okay, so Peach, you have 2 properties, meaning you need 1 correct answer. Scott, you're going to need 2. AJ, go ahead and take a break here. In math, isosceles and scalene, and that would be Peach.
Triangles.
Those are triangles, and Peach, you have gotten the red property group, and with that comes $680 of combined value, taking you up to $1,130. We now move over to our yellow property group and Atlantic Avenue. This is a $260 property. Here's your question. Which superhero's foes include Mr. Freeze and the Penguin? AJ. AJ.
Batman.
Batman is correct. 260 comes to you. You're up to 1460. We now move over to Ventnor Avenue. $260. Next question. In physics, what F as in Frank is the pivot? And that's Peach.
Fulcrum.
Fulcrum is correct. Is the pivot or fixed point on which a lever moves. Well done. $260 comes to you. You're up to $1390. 1 property for AJ, 1 for Peach. Now we move over to Marvin Gardens. This is a $280 property. Next question. Before Bill Clinton, how many presidents of the United States had been impeached? Peach.
None.
No, I'm sorry. It's going to cost you $280. Takes you to $1110. AJ.
1.
1 is correct. That was Andrew Johnson in 1868. $280 comes over to you. You're up to $1740. So AJ, you have 2 properties. Peach, you have 1. Scott, you're going to be sitting out this showdown. Here we go. In the animal kingdom, how many eyes does a caterpillar have? 6. Peach?
6.
No, I'm sorry. I'll finish the question. Is it 6 or 12? AJ?
12.
12 is the correct answer. AJ, you have taken the yellow property group. That comes with $800 of combined value, bringing you up to $2,540. We now turn on to 4th Street, and we start with our green property group and a very specific avenue. That's right. It's that old joke. It's Pacific Avenue. $300 players here for this question. The city of Krakow is in which country? AJ.
Poland.
Poland is correct. Takes you up to $2,840. 1 property for you. Next, we move over to the home of our fearless leader, Mr. Brandon Scruggs. It's North Carolina Avenue. $300 for this question. In literature, who narrates Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes stories? AJ.
Watson.
Watson is correct. Another $300 for you, sir. Takes you up to $3,140. You have 2 properties. Now we move over to the home of the president, Pennsylvania Avenue. $320 players for this question. In science, the gas radon is given off by which element whose symbol? And that's Peach.
Radium.
Radium is correct. Well done there. Takes you up to $1,430. All right, we have a showdown again. AJ, you've got 2 properties. Peach, you've got 1. Let's see who can get this green property group. Which foodstuff is sold as small, medium, large, or extra large? AJ.
A big gulp.
No, I'm sorry. Peach, you want a shot?
No.
Those would be
Can't do it.
eggs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Eggs.
Those are food stuff?
It's stuff and
It's
it's food.
Yes.
I agree.
We will talk to you later more about how eggs are food. All right, let's go to our next showdown question. All right, players. In rock music, John Francis Bon Jovi Jr. And that's Peach.
Bon Jovi?
John Bon Jovi is correct. Yes, sometimes players, it is that easy. All right, whoever gets the next correct answer takes our green properties. In which town on the outskirts of Paris was the peace treaty signed after World War? Peach?
Versailles.
Versailles is correct. And Peach, you have come back and taken the green properties. That's like $150. All right, we now move over to our final property group here in the acquisition phase, and it's our dark blues. We start with Park Place. $350 players for this question. In astrology, which star sign falls between the star signs of Libra and Sagittarius? Peach.
Virgo.
No, I'm sorry, it's going to cost you $350 for 2,000. Scott.
Scorpio.
And he is too cold. That is right. Scorpio is it. Takes you up to, you're welcome, Scott. Takes you up to $910. We now move over to our final property, and it is the big one, Boardwalk. $400 players for this question. What C, as in cow, name is given to the French brandy which has been distilled twice? Peach.
Champagne.
No, I'm sorry. It cost you $400. Take you $1,600. Scott.
Chardonnay.
No, I'm sorry. Takes you to $510. AJ. Again, what C as in cow name is given to the French brandy which has been distilled twice?
What did Steffi say?
He said Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
Oh, no, I don't want to answer that.
Okay.
I just figured it out.
That
Cognac.
Cognac.
Dang, I knew
Oh.
it.
Well, this happens very often. We have to take Boardwalk and cut it in half. It's now a $200 property with this question. In geology, a paleontologist studies AJ.
Fossils.
Fossils is correct, giving you $200. You're up to $33.40, and we're ready for our final showdown. This is going to be between Scott and AJ. Who will get this property group? Scott really needs it. AJ would like to add to the portfolio. Here is the question. When correctly spelt, does the letter I come before or after E in the word weird? Scott.
It comes after.
After is correct, and Scott, you have taken the dark blue property. To the end of our acquisition phase, let's take a look at where we stand. Right now in third place with 2 property groups and $1,260 is Scott McVeigh. In second place is our current champion, Peach Blossoms. He has 3 property groups and $1,600. And in first place right now, running away with things with 3 property groups, is AJ Richards with $3,340. Well, we're going to be taking our first commercial break now, and while we do, the players are going to be using that money they've just earned from the acquisition round to make upgrades to their property, spending $50 each on houses and hotels. And when we come back, we're going to play our 15-minute big money round to find out who's going to move on to play for $50,000. And when we go once around the block, right here on your favorite board game that's now a game show, that's right, it's Monopoly. welcome back here to Monopoly, everybody. Boy, do we have a good game going for you right now. We have, of course, had some building going on off camera, and let's take a look at what it has done to our game. So, of course, right now, after that building, Peach has actually slipped down into third place with $0, and as you can see, he has put on several hotels and houses around the board. My apologies for that. In second place now is Scott McVeigh, who's at $260, and he was able to hotel up both of his Monopoly groups. AJ is still in first at $1,090, and he was also able to put hotels on all of his properties. So it is now that time of our game to where we bring in our Mr. Monopoly, and unfortunately, your regular Mr. Monopoly, Jason Meyers, is down in our sleep room getting some Z's. So we have brought in the guy that we know as Mr. Brokopoly. You may remember him from Season 1, and you may also remember him for the, 10, 11, 12 times that he's not won a championship here until he finally did win one. So welcome back, Mr. Brokopoly himself. It's Scott Michaels.
Hello there.
Yay.
If you can't beat them, join them. That's all.
If that ain't the truth.
If that ain't the truth. Well, yeah, so you are filling in, and you always fill in very admirably for our good buddy there, Jason Meyers. I'm sure he was needing a few extra Z's tonight. So tell us what your thoughts are so far about the game that you've been watching from backstage.
I mean, so far, honestly, the scores and what I'm thinking don't really add up because I think this is a fairly even match around the board because you can't really get closer to even than 3-3-2 for property groups. So I think this is going to be a good battle in the acquisition phase. Big money round.
Oh, and hey, that is very true. And I would agree with you. It did seem like it was a fairly even round. But, it's one of those things to where taking sometimes taking shots at a question that you're not quite sure on can cause you to have that lower dollar amount. I think AJ played things very smart in the front round, but this round, everything changes, right?
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, well, then let's get to it here. Here is how things work in our second round, of course, as we call this the big money round, also known as the landlord round, if you ever hear me slip up and call it that. In this round, of course, we are going to be making our way around the board. Mr. Brokopoly over there will be rolling the dice for us. If we ever land on one of our players' properties here, we will give them a trivia question again, because we said we like to stretch those minds. And if they get it correct, they will get the value of the property with all the upgrades that they have on it into their bank. Get it wrong, and it won't cost them anything other than giving their other two competitors a shot to buzz in. If one of those other players buzzes in and gets the answer correct, they will be able to steal that random amount, but get it wrong, and it's a big risk because you will lose that amount of money. It will not go to the owner of the property, but they will just lose that amount of money. Of course, we've got other special spots on the board. We got our chance and our community chest. We'll draw those cards up as need be. And one of our favorites, as always, are those railroads where we will have some hostile takeover opportunities. So, with that being said, if all of you out there are ready, let's get to our 15-minute big money round. Of course, Mr. Brokopoly, when you roll those dice, I will start the clock.
All right, good luck, players. We start with doubles. 5 and a 5 for a 10.
All right, well, we know what that means. We're just going to the opposite end, and we're just visiting the jail, which means Mr. Monopoly, roll it, or excuse me, Mr. Brokopoly, roll it again. Don't have to get used to that.
4 and a 5 for a 9.
All right, that 9 is going to take us over to New York Avenue.
And that is yellow. So, AJ, $1,000 with a hotel on this, if you can get the question right.
All right, AJ, here comes your question. In the title of Samuel Beckett's play, who was being waited for?
No. I have no idea.
All right, so then that means it's a toss-up. Scott.
Godot.
Godot is correct, and Scott, you add $1,000 in. You're up to $1,260. Mr. Brocopley, another roll, please.
Doubles again. 3 and a 3 for a 6.
And looky there, that takes us to the B&O Railroad.
Woo woo! Players, hostile takeover time. Answer a question right, and you can take one of your opponent's property groups. Good luck.
All right, players, hands on buzzers. Here's your question. In countries such as Saudi Arabia, desalination plants are built to provide supplies, and that's Scott.
Supplies are fresh water from the seawater.
Fresh water is correct. So, Scott, you now have a chance to attack someone's property. I do want to remind you, anything you attack, if you get a question wrong in there, you will have to pay the rent to that player. So, where would you like to attack?
I would like to attack the magenta properties of AJ.
All right, so we're going to the magenta properties. We're going to start here on St. Excuse me, that's
Charles.
Yeah, St. Charles.
St. Charles.
Pardon me, I was wanting to say St. James. I'm like, no, that's orange. St. Charles Place. All right, here we go. So you have at risk, of course, a total of $750 on this first question. In the animal kingdom, which mountain range is the natural habitat of the llama?
The Andes Mountains.
Andes is correct. We now move over to States Avenue, $750 again at risk. The name of which Roman goddess is used as a general term for the plant life of a region?
For the plant life of the region. Oh, gosh. I was thinking of Athena. I'm not sure. I was wrong.
Sorry, no, that's incorrect. The correct answer is flora. Flora.
Oh.
Yes, that
Dang
is the
it.
plant life of a region. So unfortunately, we're going to be taking $750 from you. That $750 gets paid over to AJ Richards, taking him up to $1,840, and that means this hostile takeover is unsuccessful and it's over. All right, Mr. Brocopley, next roll, please.
Doubles again. 5 and a 5 for a 10.
All right, and that takes us around to Indiana Avenue, home of John Wilson.
All right, Peaches, this is a big one for you to get money on the board. 4 houses, $840.
All right, Peach, for $840. Mumbai is the official name of an Indian city. By what name is it generally known?
Bombay.
Bombay is correct. $840 comes over to you. You are right back in this thing. All right, Mr. Brocopley, another roll, please.
3 and a 6 for a 9.
And that takes us to North Carolina Avenue.
Oh, Peach, you got 2 questions coming in a row for you. $12.75 this time if you can get it right.
All right, Peach. On the World Wide Web, what country does .D as in Daryl, K as in Karen represent?
Denmark.
Denmark is correct. We add that. You're up to now $2,115 and in first place. Mr. Brocopley, another roll, please.
6 and a 4 for a 10.
Liking those big numbers today? All right, we just passed go, players. You're all going to get $200. And with that, we've just landed on Community Chest. So we draw our first card out of Community Chest today, and here's what it tells us. The green player, which would be you, Scott, you must make building improvements. You'll be paying $50 per house and $250 per hotel. So, hotels on the board for you. Unfortunately, that's going to cost you $1,000. And we take it away. You're now at negative $290. All right, Mr. Brocopley, next roll, please.
Well, we're going small. 1 and a 3 for a 4.
All right, that moves us to Oriental Avenue.
Well, Peach, only 1 house, but still money. $110 if you can get it right.
All right, Peach. In which American city would you find Georgetown University?
Georgetown. Boston.
No, I'm sorry. So it's now a toss-up for AJ or Scott. In which American city is Georgetown University? Yeah, time's up on that one. Well, if you go with George, George makes you think of Washington, and that would be in Washington, D.C. All right.
Of course.
Nothing doing there. Mr. Brokopoly, another roll, please.
Doubles, and it's a big double because it's a 12.
Ooh, a 12. We don't see those very often here on Monopoly. And that takes us all the way over to Tennessee Avenue.
AJ, you can retake the lead with this. A hotel is $950.
All right, so AJ, here comes your question. In astrology, the star sign Virgo is represented by what image?
A virgin.
A virgin is correct. Well done, sir. That takes you up to $2,990. All right, Mr. Brokopoly, next roll, and we're coming up on 8 minutes remaining in the big money round.
5 and 1 for a 6.
Okay, sorry, had to turn the page in the book here. All right, 6. That takes us over to Illinois Avenue.
Peach, you can catch up in a hurry. 4 houses, $880.
All right, Peach. In the animal kingdom, which creature makes the loudest noises, capable of being detected from 500 miles away?
A shrimp?
No, I'm sorry. Toss up for AJ or Scott. AJ.
A whale.
A whale is the correct answer. You have taken that $880 of rent, brings you up to $3,870. All right, Mr. Brokopoly, another roll, please.
2 and a 4 for a 6.
And that means we're going to jail, players. You're going to pay $50 immediately to get yourself out of jail, and we're just going to go on to our next roll.
All right.
We got doubles. 3 and a 3 for a 6.
And that takes us to St. James Place.
AJ, you can extend your lead even more with this. $950.
AJ, in literature, what nationality was the falcon in the title of Dashiell Hammell's novel?
French.
No, I'm sorry. Toss up for Peach or Scott. And that's Peach.
Maltese?
Maltese is correct. 950 comes to you. You're up to 3215. All right, another roll, please. Great game going on.
Doubles again. This time another 12.
I'm going to have to check them dice. I'm pretty sure they're loaded. And that takes us, wow, here we go. We're at Waterworks. Explain what happens here, Mr. Brokopoly.
Well, to the player who gets this next question right, no risk. They get 100 times the roll. This is the max it can be, $1,200 for a correct answer.
All right, here's your question. By what name is the politician William Jefferson Blythe IV? And that's Peach.
Oh my gosh. I got nothing.
All right, time's up on that one. AJ or Scott?
Can you repeat the question, please?
By what name
sorry.
is the politician William Jefferson Blythe IV better known? And that's AJ.
Taft.
No, I'm sorry. Scott, do you want a shot? Again, there's no money at risk on this one.
Well, if there's no money, I'm going to just guess Thomas Jefferson.
No, I'm sorry. If you guys think, who's a president that you would think of named William Jefferson?
Shucks.
Clinton.
Oh.
Bill Clinton.
Oh, Bill, of course.
All right, missed out on a big one there. All right, let's have another roll. We're under 5 minutes remaining.
Ooh, barely dodged jail. 5 and a 4 for a 9.
All right, lots of big numbers here. It's time for Park Place.
Oh, good.
Steffi, you can get out of the hole with this. $1,500.
All right, and I do want to remind players before I ask this question, remember from the time I end the question, you have 5 seconds to give your answer or you time out. Okay? So here comes the question. How many hours are there in 3 days?
Let's see. 72 hours.
72 is correct. And you are out of the hole. $1,160. All right, Mr. Brocopley, next roll.
3 and a 1 for a 4.
Yeah, that's a small one this time. Players, you pass go. $200 more comes to you. And we're on Mediterranean Avenue.
Any money will help, Seffi. $250.
All right, Seffi, in literature, what A as an apple is a condensed or shortened version of a work?
Abridged.
Abridged is correct. 250 brings you up to 1610. All right, next roll.
2 and a 1 for a 3.
All right. And we've hit income tax. Explain it to him, Mr. Brocopley.
Well, the tax man's coming for you. Everybody must pay $200 to the free parking jackpot.
All right, we take that 200 away from each of you, and now we give back by another roll.
2 and a 6 for an 8.
And that takes us over to the electric company.
Well, same rules as Waterworks. $100 times the roll is on the line, so $800 this time.
All right, players. In science, what is extracted from a substance for it to be described as anhydrous? Peach.
Water.
Water is correct. $800 comes to you. You're up to 4,015 and back in first place. We're at about 2.5 minutes left. Next roll.
Doubles, and it's Snake Eyes. 1 and a 1 for a 2.
This is the day for doubles. We're at Virginia Avenue.
And AJ, you can take the lead back. $900 for the correct answer.
AJ, in Eric Carle's children's book, what is very hungry?
A bear?
No, sorry, Peach.
A caterpillar.
It was the very hungry caterpillar. Yes, $900. That takes you to 49.15. Next roll.
5 and a 1 for a 6.
And that takes us to free parking. Explain it.
Well, players, there is $1,250 in the free parking jackpot. It is yours if you can answer the next question correctly.
So this is a huge one. What is the first name of the former German Chancellor Kohl? AJ.
Heinrich?
No, I'm sorry. Scott.
Helmut.
Helmet is correct. 1250 comes to you. Brings you up to 2660. We're at a minute 15 left. Next roll, please.
5 and a 1 for a 6.
That takes us to Atlantic Avenue.
AJ, you can get to the lead. $1,150.
AJ, which piece of women's gymnastics equipment is 5 meters long and 10 centimeters wide?
Leotard.
No, I'm sorry. Toss it. Scott.
Balance beam.
Balance beam is correct. You're up to 38.10. You're back in this thing. We're at 38 seconds left. Next roll.
1 and a 4 for a 5.
We're at Pacific Avenue.
Peach,
Very specific
$12.75 if you can get it right.
All right, Peach. In fashion, what are jelly bean sandals or jelly shoes made from?
Jelly beans?
No, toss up. AJ Scott. And that's Scott.
Silicone.
No, I'm sorry. That's going to cost you. AJ, you want a shot?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
So, time has run out. As you asked for the repeat, I'll give you the repeat, and this will finish us up here. In fashion, what are jelly bean sandals or jelly shoes made from?
I have no idea.
All right, so then that's time because that would be everybody. They're made of plastic. Plastic. We are out of time here for our big money round. Let's take a look at where things stand at this moment. We have got in third place Scott McVeigh with $2,535. In second place is AJ Richards with $3,820. And in first place right now, our champion is back where he was before, in first at $4,915. We're going to take our final commercial break here. While we're in commercial, we're going to go ahead and sell back all of those upgrades to the players. And when we come back, we're going to add those dollars back to their score and find out who's moving on to play for up to $50,000 right here on Monopoly. Everybody, welcome back here to Monopoly. Man, let me tell you, this has honestly been one of the best games I believe that we have ever seen here on the Monopoly stage, and it's not quite over yet. We have got to do a little mathin', so let's do it. The way we do things here, we're going to, of course, start with our third place player coming out of the big money round, which was Seffi, Scott McVeigh. Scott, you had $2,535. When we sell back all of your upgrades to your properties that you still own, that is an additional $1,000. We add that, and today you finish with $3,535. Next, we move over to our yellow player who was in second place, AJ Richards. AJ, you had $3,820 coming out of the big money round. We sell back all of your upgrades, which nets you an additional $2,250. When we add that to your score today, you finish with $6,070. And finally, we move over to Mr. Peach Blossoms. Peach, you came into that final round finishing up with $4,915. When we sell back all of your upgrades, you were able to net an additional $1,600. When we add that to your score today, you finish with $6,515.
Wow. Oh boy. That's what I'm thinking.
What a a game. Absolutely. Once again, you can look, that came down to the difference in one question, really, at the end of the day. So congratulations, Peach. We'll come back and speak to you here in just a moment. First, we're going to go over to Scott McVeigh. Scott, you had a pretty decent game. Stuff started off for you tonight really well, getting the first Monopoly. And then from there, you just couldn't close the door on anything else until the last one. You started to make a comeback towards the end, made a little bit of a faulty mistake towards the end on a question, but it wouldn't have been enough for you to win. But still, a valiant comeback there. Tell us how you're feeling at the end of tonight's game.
Well, I feel like I still could have done a little bit better than I could have, but I still have to admit, I'm just happy I'm not in the hole like I was during that big board round, though. So there you go. To Peach, good luck in going around to once around the block. Okay, man?
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, great job by you there again, Scott. We're going to give you the $3,535 going into your season bank, and that, again, currently has you solidly in first place overall for the season with $34,027. So we'll see what Peach does in the bonus round. He could eclipse you there according to how it goes, but otherwise you're still looking good, and I'm sure that we will see you back probably multiple times before the end of this season.
I think you have a very good possibility we'll see it then later on too, Turd.
All right. Everybody make sure to give it up there for Seffi, Mr. Scott McVeigh, a fantastic player for us here in season 2 of Monopoly. Next, of course, we move over to the man, and I really thought that he was going to bring it home tonight. It was looking good for him, and then just could not get it across the finish line. AJ Richards, man, $6,070. You only lost this thing at the end by $445. With the way you played today, you definitely played like a champion. Tell me what you think made the difference at the end of the day.
It's a stupid caterpillar question.
So you say that now that you say that, looking back and when you finally heard the answer, did you go, oh crap, I did know that?
Yeah, because I forgot about the very hungry caterpillar. Just finally sprung to my mind.
Hey, I totally understand, and sometimes in this game, that's literally what it comes down to. It can come down to one simple question here, and it's proof that you never give up. You keep fighting. But, hey, good play by you here tonight, AJ. We go ahead and add that $6,070 into your season total, which now moves you up into, let's see, sixth place overall with $8,905. Congratulations to you there. Again, AJ, I'm sure that we'll see you back again this season.
I'll definitely be back again. Thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. Everybody give it up there for AJ Richards. Fantastic player. Definitely showing a lot of growth here. And I don't take credit for it. But at the same time, that's why we do trivia. We got a lot of great players here, and why sometimes you'll hear just a little bit tougher trivia sprinkled in, and it's so we can stretch those minds. But yeah, great play there. But now we come over to our buddy, Mr. Peach Blossoms. Peach, you add another $6,515 now to your season total, and at this moment you're standing at $23,320, which has moved you now up into second place overall with a shot, if you can do some big things here in the bonus game, to be able to get into first. Tell me in this moment, how are you feeling about winning tonight's game?
Amazed. That was some actual competition. That whole game there, especially that final 15-minute round, was absolutely sweaty. Every turn, every possible turn, it made me sweat. I gotta respect the absolute effort that my opponents made, especially for just being able to answer all those questions. And I know we have those Goldilocks moments or jelly beans moments.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, but you're absolutely right. You know, and I think that goes back to the fact that Brandon Scruggs has built such a great community here. You know, it's one of those things that while this community is a very welcoming community at the same time, you know, not just every Tom, Dick, or Harry gets in here. And that's why I think we have such a good group that we've got together. And he spent a lot of years building that. So, and of course, he's got a good one in you. So here's the thing now, Peach. You want to see if you can be the first person ever to win $50,000 in this bonus game?
Well, we tried it last time. There's nothing wrong with trying it again as long as I'm able to. So let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to go once around the block. Well, and here is the really interesting thing. Of course, as we all know out there, that while we are all very, very happy members of MVG Productions, we've also got our little side studios that we've got going on in Grandma Studios, which also has Grandma's Game Closet as a part of that, and Monopoly is one of the properties for Grandma's Game Closet, as well as Sorry the Game Show. If those of you that tuned in last Thursday, you saw AJ Rickers become the first person to ever win the big jackpot. Could Peach be the first one to ever do it here on Monopoly? We haven't had anybody win any of the big bonus money this season because, of course, you can win $25K, but could Peach be the first one to ever win 50? Let's find out. So, of course, Peach, here is how we do our bonus game. We're starting you off with 5 rolls to help you get yourself all the way around that board. If you can get all the way around the board and go past go, then we're going to give you $25,000 in bonus cash. If you can land exactly on go, we will give you $50,000. And again, that would be a first time that it's ever happened, and now coming up somewhere in the neighborhood of 35, 40 episodes that we've ever filmed of this. So, yeah, definitely it would be a big thing. So, of course, we got to make it a little tough on you. Can't make it easy. So we are going to add some additional go to jail spaces on the board in addition to the one that's in the upper right-hand corner. So you're going to be adding 1 on 2nd Street, 1 on 3rd Street, and 2 on 4th Street. So let's go ahead and get to that part of it. And please give me 1 extra go to jail space between St. Charles and New York Avenue.
St. Charles.
All right, then we move over to 3rd Street. I need 1 between Kentucky Avenue and Marvin Gardens.
Kentucky Avenue.
And now we're going to put 2 on 4th Street between Pacific Avenue and Boardwalk.
Pacific Avenue and Luxury Tax.
All right, so we've got all those loaded up there now for you. Of course, I said you've got 5 rolls. If you can ever roll doubles as we're going through here, we'll give you an additional roll. And also, for every space you can make it around the board, we are going to give you $100 and a chance to walk away here with some bonus cash before you run into trouble. But that'll always be up to you. So, of course, we've got Mr. Brocopley over there. He's going to fire up that rock and roller. And whenever you are ready, Peach, best of luck. Tell him when to stop, and let's see if we can win some money.
All right. Scott, roll them now.
5 and a 4 for a 9.
Okay.
All right, good start there. That's $900 in the bank. So as we look at it now, your bad rolls are a 2, and if I count correctly here, that's going to be an 11. Yeah, 2 and 11 are your bad rolls. So you can take $900 and walk away.
12.
12?
Yeah, 2 and 12.
Yep, you're right. Thank you. All right, so 2 and 12 are your bad rolls. So take the 900 and walk, or continue on with 4 more rolls.
I think I've got to continue on.
He continues on. All right, fire up that rock and roller. And Peach, you know what to do.
I certainly do. All right. And now.
3 and a 2 for a 5.
Okay.
All right, we skipped over one of them. $500 more. We're up to $1,400 now. Okay, so you're down to 3 rolls left. Your one bad roll that you have is a 7. So you can keep pushing it. 7 is a very common roll, however. I can give you 1,400 to walk away to add on with what you won in the front game, or you can keep going. You still have 3 rolls left.
Well, I know 7's a common number, but I still got a lot of opportunities regardless for good rolls, so I'm going to keep going.
All right, he's going to keep going. All right, Mr. Brocopley, fire up that rock and roller. And Peach, tell him when to stop.
All right, a double would be nice. Now!
It's a 7.
Oh, no, not again. We are now officially 0 for 9 in Season 2 on anyone defeating the bonus game. Oh, Peach, my friend. There is nothing we can do. That 1,400 you had banked is wiped away. So that means today you're going to walk away with that $6,515. And again, you've got second place solidified. Man, I know you went one too many rolls. Did you just really feel like you had it on your side?
Well, that and it was like 1,400 only that I had like at risk here. If there were like any others, I might have like considered it. I think I was going all the way though.
And hey,
I think I was just gonna keep rolling no matter what.
Right. Well, hey, that is definitely fair enough. As I said, you're now a 2-time champion with us. $6,515 is what you've got in this run. Or excuse me, in tonight's game, we add that up. For this run, you've added on an additional $16,070, bringing your total for the season up to $23,320, solidifying that second position. Ladies and gentlemen, we will look forward to having you once again with us next week.
I will certainly be there.
All right, well, Mr. Brocopley, Scott Michaels, we have had another fantastic game of Monopoly. Kind of put that little pretty bow on it for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said during commercial break to everybody, this was an absolutely fabulous game played by all 3 players. All 3 deserve the utmost respect for their gameplay today. Peach just couldn't get past that one go to jail. I don't blame him for going for it, even though 1 out of 6 rolls are 7 in statistical ways, but still, $6,515, nothing to sneeze at. And yeah, thank you again, Turd, for letting me fill in tonight.
Well, hey, as always, we appreciate you there, Scott, for filling in very admirably for Mr. Jason Meyers. Hopefully he's doing all right out there, getting that little extra sleep in, and I'm sure he'll be back with us again next week. And if not, hey, you know, we may come a-ringing. So thank you as always. And those of you out there watching at home, thank you for always supporting those of us in Grandma's Game Closet, Grandma Studios, as well as MVG Productions. We couldn't do any of this without you coming and watching every week. So I'll throw a shout out there to those that aren't really with us here inside of MVG, but Mutzer Tima, Robert Bishop, John Justice, Tony, and I ain't going to try to pronounce the rest of that mess there, so I don't want to embarrass you or myself. So, but yeah, thank you for making sure to come and support us each and every week here on the live stream. Monopoly, again, it will be back once again next Monday night. Again, we normally try to start at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, but sometimes some things get us slowed up a little bit, so make sure to tune in again next week for that. Thursday night, once again, back with another live stream of Sorry the Game Show, episode number 17, I believe. And who knows, you never know what else might get live streamed here. And, of course, all of the pre-recorded content that Mr. Brandon Scruggs edits up for you guys, definitely be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you like this video. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you're thinking about it. Those of you in the live chat, thank you as always for throwing your comments out there. We really appreciate it. Make sure that you ring that bell for notifications so that you find out when the next videos are out. And go and tell at least 2 friends before we see you again for another live stream about MVG Productions, and see if you can't get them to subscribe along with all of the rest of us. But until we come back again to go once around the block to see if somebody can finally win some bonus cash, he was Scott Michaels, I'm Turd Ferguson, and you sure as hell aren't. We'll see you back here next time for another big episode of Monopoly. Until then, bye-bye, everybody.
Good night.